Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for the Battla Attackers T-Rex Zord from Power Rangers Dino Fury. Now, if you can tell by the name, this is not the deluxe version. Those reviews are forthcoming. This is a Battla Attackers version, which is in line with those figures that came with the monsters that kind of have kick action to kick the monsters over. And there's even a thing on the back of the box, which I'll put on screen right now, that shows you how you can work with those. So it's sort of similar to that, as it has an action gimmick and kind of plays off that role. And I'm sure you can have it attack monsters. It would actually have been cool if they would have had big monsters that came out in this scale for this thing to fight with, like my favorite Ragnarok, the best character in Dino Fury. But setting that aside, we're going to go over the fun functions of this, and this also actually makes a compelling standalone display piece for the T-Rex Zord. So let's just talk about it look-wise, though, for those collectors. It's honestly not half bad. It is a cheaper plastic. When you get it, you'll feel that it feels cheaper than your average plastic, which is what cheaper plastic means. You can kind of tell just by looking at it. It almost has a pseudo knockoff matte finish feel to it. Sort of similar to the way the Dino Fury Zords felt last year. You'll see that. But proportion-wise, it's actually pretty accurate, and I'll have the Japanese version here in a second, but I like the way the head looks on this better. And these Zords are pretty basic when it comes to detail, so it's pretty hard to mess up the details. So it's pretty accurate proportion-wise, and it does not look half bad at all. Again, it feels a little bit cheaper, and the legs will feel a little bit wobbly because of the way that the gimmick works, and because one of them you have to pop on when you get it out of the box. But other than that, you know, it doesn't feel like it's gonna break, and it doesn't look too bad. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised with the way this thing looks. Like if you want a standalone T-Rex display piece, the only real thing, and these move too. Oh my god, this is so much fun! The only other thing that I really notice about it that's like quote unquote bothersome is just this little piece here which has the lights and stuff, and it's just meant to be there for the gimmick, but that's not a huge deal. But while we're talking aesthetics, let's bring in my good buddy, Tiramigo. Say hi to the kids, Tiramigo. But this is the Japanese combining version. Of course, we will be comparing the combining version for the US and Japan when we get to that. But I actually, if I'm being honest, I kind of like the way this looks as an individual one. I mean, this guy has his perks. He feels higher quality plastic. He has a little bit better details in some parts, and he can, you know, come apart, and you can do custom stuff with him just by himself. He becomes a T-Rex robot. This guy does not. But if we're just talking aesthetics, I actually think this guy looks a little bit better. He looks a little bit better proportionally. He's got more of an expressive, like, fanned out head here, which looks nice. The eye stands out a little bit more. I know this sounds kind of stupid to some people, probably. Again, this feels higher quality. It's got a lot more going for it function-wise. This guy's mouth will open here too, but it closes back up because you have the gimmick. But I just wanted to point that out because one of my main things I like about this is it makes a very solid T-Rex Zord / Tiramigo display piece. But let's talk about the fun this guy can have. So you got two different types of fun you can have with them. One of them is basically a chomping mode, and the other is a roaring mode. All the features of T-Rexes, that and tiny arms. So for the chomping mode, you're actually gonna press or this up, and you might want to hold on to this because when you do both modes, one unfortunate drawback of it when you have it down is the legs will wobble, and it kind of will mismatch back and forth and start wobbling all around and go between the two modes. But if you want it to just strictly stay in the chomping mode, it's also an Omnitrix. Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for the T-Rex Champion Zord Omnitrix. You eventually get like some burping noises. That I think is kind of weird is I like that you have the lights here, which, you know, it's nice. There we go. I was like, what did I do before to get that other sound? And then I just remembered. But it's nice to have the lights, because I'm sure kids will like that. Like, ooh, pretty lights. But I kind of wish that it was the eyes instead. I'm not sure if that would be more expensive or if that would be harder to make work or something. But it just seems weird, like, yeah, his collar thing lights up. Like, it would be cool if the eyes lit up. That would just be a lot cooler. Now, the other gimmick is roaring, in which you push this down and you have him kind of facing upwards and roaring. And it will go for a really long time. How long? And this is to go even further beyond. Okay, stop. So there you have that. You can do it in short bursts. and you get a bunch of different sounds, or you can have them hold it. Sorry that took so much longer than the others. This is what I call a Super Rexy 3. That's pretty much it. You get the roaring and the chomping. And again, if you kind of do it this way, you kind of get both, and it gets a little bit wobbly, and it doesn't stay together the best, because these are a little bit, again, wobbly, which is kind of annoying. But other than that, I'm surprisingly happy with this. Like, I didn't think I was going to hate this, but I wasn't that excited for it, to be honest. And it's not like it's my favorite thing ever, but I think it's a surprisingly cool toy. I think kids will really like this. I think the action of it is really fun. You know, it's kind of satisfying the way the T-Rex mouth opens with the chomping and the roaring. It very much feels like a really nice, not only PR toy, but a T-Rex toy that I think kids will like. But even for collectors, again, like I have to say, it doesn't make a half bad display piece if you want a solo Tiramigo T-Rex Zord on display. Like if you're one of those people that likes to display multiple modes, or you just really like Dino Fury or Ryusoldier, but you're going to want to display your main Zords in the mecha formation, but you really want the individual one out, this makes a compelling piece, and you can have some secret on the side dinosaur fun and pretend like you're 10 years old again. Especially with that Omnitrix thing, it's perfect. So get your Omnitrix at 10 years old, start a Pokemon journey, Super Saiyan 3 Screaming, this has it all. Honestly, it's not half bad. If you are interested in it for you or your kids or something, I recommend giving it a look. It's a lot cooler of a toy than I expected it to be. But that's about it for this one though, guys. Until next time, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.